How to lose belly fat if you're working 60 plus hours a week. I work with a lot of business owners, CEOs, directors, managers of companies, and they struggle all the time to lose weight. Their number one excuse is, I just work too much. I don't have time to go to the gym 5-6 days a week. I don't have time to meal prep every single meal. I don't have time to sit down and eat every meal at a table and prep everything. I don't have time to get 7 hours of steps in a day. So here's my tips and why just eating less doesn't work. So a lot of people's idea is, well, I'll just eat less food. If you just do that and try to do it subconsciously, it's never going to work. Your body has great self-defense mechanisms to stop you from losing weight, right? So all that will happen is you'll feel like you'll eat less, but your body will just crave more food and make you eat again to top up the energy deficit that you've created. So this is why people struggle so much, so it's got to be accurate. I help a lot of my clients lose 20 kilos plus with the exact methods I'm going to teach you. So if you want to come and work with me personally, drop me a message on my Instagram, which will be in the description, but it's also robbie.bins_transformations, and come and work with me. So let's tackle each point one by one. So the number one thing that I see people struggle with is meal deals. Supermarket meal deals are shit. They are just full of ultra-processed food, which make you hungrier and want to crave later on in the day. They don't taste very nice either, so I don't know why people are obsessed with them. They seem to be like this addiction, what people just eat and they think are great, the shite, right? The food in them's terrible, they make you have more cravings, and they're going to be very high amounts of calories for the little amount of food that you're going to get. There is some caveats. So for me, if I'm traveling at service stations, I will go into Marks and Spencer's. I'll spend a little bit more for better quality food, and they actually do like noodle bowls with some chicken. And what I will do is I'll buy extra portions of chicken breast from there and just add that on top to get my protein up within that meal, right? Because most meal deals are going to be low with protein. So that's one alternative I would have than just the normal sandwich packet of crisps, and you'll probably get fruit or something because you're dieting, and then a bottle of water, but you're just going to be hungry again, and then you're going to end up running to the vending machine later on in the day to get that energy up to carry on working. So what's the second option I would do other than just grabbing meal deals at lunch when you're busy and can't go and wait for loads of food to be cooked for you and sit down in a restaurant? I would just make 2 portions of the meal that I'm making the night before. So as soon as I make that meal, I'll just put double the amount of ingredients in, put it in the fridge, and then warm it up at work the next day. Super simple. Number 2 clings on to one of my first points, is you're not tracking what you're eating. So a lot of people just decide, I'm just going to eat less, I'm going to take the stairs rather than the elevator. This doesn't work. You need to know exactly what you're putting in to know exactly what changes need to be made, because if you're just trying to eat without any data whatsoever, all that's going to happen is them self-defense mechanisms are going to kick in, they're going to send hunger signals, you're going to snack, and you're going to blame it on, I was just tired so I need a bit of sugar. Probably done that before, right? So make sure that you're tracking everything. You know that you're getting enough fuel in your body, but you know that you're in a deficit, right? And then you would track your body weight, and if your body weight isn't coming down, what you would then do is you would either decrease the calories that you're putting in because you know exactly what you're doing because you're tracking them, or you would increase your output by going to the gym, adding cardio in, doing extra steps elsewhere. The third one is super boring, no one wants to hear it, but it's sleep quality. Sleep quality is going to help recovery, it's going to help regulate hormones, and what that's going to do is make it slightly easier to be in a deficit, because if you're recovering better, your body's not going to require as much food to feel the improvement of the recovery. So if you're going to the gym and you're not recovering from that because your sleep's terrible, what your body will do is it will crave more sugar and it will crave more simple carbs to speed up that recovery process because it's not getting enough rest to actually recover. So make sure that you have a sleep routine. Like, you're an adult, right? You can easily set yourself a bedtime. Don't have to stick to every single night, but for me, I make sure that I'm in bed by 9:30 most nights. I'm then asleep by 10 o'clock most nights. I wake up between 6:30 and 7:30 every single morning. So I make sure that I get enough sleep in and that my sleep is on a routine so that it's not affected by outside factors. The next point is minimum effective dose weeks. So people who are busy think, well, I can't train 5 days a week or 4 days a week every single week. So what I have with clients is minimum effective dose weeks. What's the minimum amount we can do in the gym to still get a result? For some clients, that'll be twice. So we're going to make sure that on your busiest weeks where you can't get to the gym as many days as you'd like, we're going to get at least 2 days in, right? Then we know that they're still keeping that routine in place. As soon as that routine of the gym stops for some of these guys who are busy, what tends to happen is it then goes into another week and another week, and even on the weeks where they're not as busy now, they're dropping gym sessions. So what we do is we have conversations, we look at this is what the busiest weeks look like, and this is when we move into our minimum effective dose week. We sometimes have a slightly different program for it. It might be an upper lower program, so we know that we're training everything like at least once, or it might be 2 full body programs for their minimum effective dose weeks. And then the last bit to just throw on top, I get them all to get walking pads. They can afford them, they have good jobs. Get a walking pad at home. Wake up, if you're going to reply to emails, make sure you're on there, get your steps in. A lot of people miss steps. Steps for me is one of the biggest things which makes fat loss so much easier. Probably the number one thing. It just allows you to have more freedom. The clients that I see who do 2,000 to 3,000, which is the average for somebody who works in an office a day, actively try to get that up to 8 to 10. Their weight loss is just so much quicker. It's not even comparable. So they just get a walking pad. We attach tasks to the walking pad so that every time they're doing that task, they're walking. So that could be replying to work emails on a morning before you actually start your working hours, because that's what most of these guys do. What I'm going to do for you guys who've watched all the way to the end is in the description, I'm also going to link in a 4-day-a-week program which I have built, which you can access and start using straight away. So go download it and make sure that you actually implement it, because most people who download stuff for free don't actually implement it.